What's up, guys? How are you? Happy Sunday. Welcome in to another episode of the Daily Juice Podcast with me, Matt Perrault, at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me on Twitter, this podcast every single day being brought to you by our friends at BetMGM.com. New users, you guys have an opportunity to take advantage of a $1,000 first bet offer. Promo code JUICE at sign up gets you that. If you're in Massachusetts, that code JUICE gets you a $200 bonus bet opportunity with no deposit necessary at betmgm.com. Promo code JUICE. All right, so not good. 1-4, 1-4, 4-1. That's what I've done the last 3 days. That is not a very good mark. That's a 6-9 mark. Down a little over 3.5 units over the last 3 days. So we're not trending in the right direction at the moment by any means. Couple of bad losses. I mean, Auburn cannot, the game went just how I thought. They couldn't hit a free throw to save their life in the second half. Credit Houston for just hanging around and hacking the right guys because yikes, Auburn, you had a chance to win that game. But then Texas, we lose on the hook. That kind of stunk. But then I won my last 3 bets on the night. We got the hockey bet right. That was a simple bet. By the way, there are 2 more opportunities for the Vegas hangover bet this season. I mean, I bet 2 units on it. It saved me when I came in and hit that. So that was nice. So that made up for the losses in college basketball, which have been brutal. But I won my last 2. Northwestern, luck, got that cover. Alabama minus 8.5, got that cover. If you aren't hanging out in the Discord channel, I really can't recommend it more. Even if you just want to see what other people are playing, not necessarily me. But I had so many things because we lost the Fazees when the decision went for Justin Gaethje, which was the right decision, by the way. Gaethje won that fight 2-1. And right away, I went and found a bet that I said, go and find this if you can, but it was any other way the fight would end other than Usman winning by decision, meaning Usman by submission, Usman by knockout. Decision going to Edwards, knockout by Edwards. It was minus 135. So I was like, jump on that, bet that to win a unit coming back, cover up on the 1 unit we lost on the parlay. So I covered up on that. So that was nice. So I was flat on the UFC. So I'll just tell you different ways and things I'm doing in order to, I've said this before. I use in-game wagering or I use live betting oftentimes for defense. So, and I should have, with Houston, I actually thought Auburn was going to win the game. So I should have, somebody asked, hey, should we take Houston plus the points here in the second half? And I was like, I'm not. You can if you want to, but I'm not going to. That was a mistake on my part. I absolutely should have done that. But so I just had a lot of things going on. So I got a push on the over for KU and Arkansas. I don't know how in the world that bank shot went in. He was trying to miss it intentionally and he hit it. And that got us to the push. It was really fortuitous on that. Shouldn't have had that happen. So I had just a lot of bets going on. I talked about a lot of them during the Discord channel. So the link is underneath me or bettingpros.com/chat. Come on in, be a part of that. It's a really fun community. It's a great way of watching games, but you can see when I'm sucking on my official plays, I can tell you about other plays I was making because I hit a bunch of overs yesterday. I hit the Oilers over. I hit Montreal over. Hockey, once again, saved my neck when it does, because that's what hockey has been doing. It's been saving my neck left and right here when it comes to, just betting. I've been very good with hockey. And tomorrow or today, Sunday, it's a Sunday. So they're always a little wonky because the start times are weird. But my goodness gracious, are there some crazy numbers that are out there right now at the time of taping that you guys have got to take advantage of from a total perspective, just because the numbers are just screaming. Take these teams and bet the over. I like 4 games to go over, and there's no way all 4 games are going to go over, but I'm going to bet all 4 myself. But officially, I've got 2 hockey plays to tell you guys about, and I've got 1 NCAA tournament bet. Maybe I've figured it out. I don't know. I'll tell you this. I might add, if I were to go 3-0 on the 3 bets I give you, that means I think I would be just down the juice for the week. So I would want to figure it out. I think because I was 8-8 going into yesterday, went 1-4, so I'm 9-12. So if I go 3-0, I'd be 12-12. I will have a late play on Gonzaga laying 4.5 points against TCU. That will be a late play. That game tips off. I think that's the last game of the day, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see the schedule for tomorrow. I'm pretty sure that game's late. The Zags play late. Yeah, the Zags play. Where is that? An NCAA tournament. That was today for Sunday. The Zags game is at 6:40. So 9:40 Eastern, 6:40. So I would jump in on that. I'm betting Gonzaga, but I'd make it official if we're at 3-0 and I'm 12-12 on the week, just to make it either 13-12 or 12-13, just to give you an idea as to where I'm going to go with this. Different game I'm going to tell you about. You can fade or follow it if you would like for college basketball here for the NCAA tournament. Officially, I think I've missed my last, went 1-4, lost 4 there, lost. I missed my last 7 bets officially. So I'm 3-7 in the NCAA tournament so far. No bueno. So just a heads up on that. But speaking of the community, you guys can get upgraded. 1 full year of premium. You can get upgraded by subscribing to the YouTube channel that you're watching this very show on. Hit the subscribe button. I mean, come on, people. BettingPros YouTube channel, subscribe to it. Comment below. Tell me your favorite bet today. What are you going to be sweating out today in the NCAA tournament? Because when you do, you can win a free upgrade to BettingPros Premium, where they're looking for access to exclusive picks, top-rated player props, or custom analysis of your betting performance. BettingPros Premium has the tools to help you cash more bets. It's that plain and simple. If you don't want to wait, and somebody asked me about this yesterday, the sign-up is bettingpros.com/upgrade. bettingpros.com/upgrade and start betting smarter, not harder. Before I give you the bets and the plays, it's time to talk about our friends at Omaha Steaks, because they still have this phenomenal 50% off semi-annual sale going on right now. Creighton plays today. I've already told you I'm not making it official, but I'm already on the Jays. Omaha's going to be rocking for this game. Omaha Steaks also, awesome place. Started in Omaha, Nebraska. The steak experts have made it easy for you to spring into something awesome and delicious. The semi-annual sale going on right now, 50% off the entire site. But when you use the code JUICE, you will get an additional $30 off your order at checkout. Go and take advantage of this awesome deal. Omaha Steaks, shipping right away. Get right to your door. Simple. It's packed beautifully in dry ice. It goes right in the freezer for whenever you're ready for it. You take it out, defrost it. The burgers don't even need to be defrosted. Just chuck them on the grill. They go right from the freezer to the grill, and they're delicious. They're phenomenal. OmahaSteaks.com. Code JUICE at checkout. Get an additional $30 off when you shop their semi-annual sale today with the promo code JUICE. Minimum order may be required. Okay, let's start with hockey. And then we'll get to the one college basketball play, because I know you guys are probably going to bet the hockey and fade the college basketball play, which is probably pretty smart. All right. This is a very interesting Sunday just because the teams that we like betting on are playing. The Bruins are at Buffalo. Okay. The over is shaded pretty heavily at -125 at most books right now. Bruins are probably going to play Swayman. Bruins game went over yesterday against the Wild. We bet the under, or we missed it. I'm not going to do it again. I'm not going to make it official, but Sabres are 7-3 at home over their last 10, and they're 19-14-1 on the year to the over at home, but they're starting Anderson most likely. Wait to see who's in net for the Sabres before betting this, but if it is Luukkonen, I think you go ahead and bet the over here and feel pretty good about betting the over 6.5 for the Bruins and the Sabres. In fact, if it's Luukkonen, they may actually bet it. They may actually put it up to 7 if it's Luukkonen, but that's a decent play. Vegas is playing Columbus. Columbus stinks, and Columbus is starting some guy named Hutchinson, who I have never heard of. He's played 5 games this year, started 2 of them, and if it is going to be this cat, he is no good. Goals against average 0-4. He's 0.2-1 on the year. Vegas on the puck line. Vegas over 6.5. Jonathan Quick's in net for the Vegas Golden Knights, so maybe a little concerned about that, but he gave up a ton of goals in his last start. Columbus can score sometimes, so maybe you bet over 6.5 on that if you would like. The plays we are going to make official, well, we're going to talk about St. Louis and Winnipeg. I don't really understand, to be quite honest, when you start looking at teams playing on the road and what they have done, I mean, there are teams that play unders and there are teams that play overs. St. Louis is 19, 13, and 2 to the over at home. Okay. On the road, you might go, well, Matt, Winnipeg is a 20, 11, and 3 team to the under at home. And I'll give you that. But St. Louis, I'm just going to keep on firing on teams that are playing games. I mean, Hellebuck most likely is in net for the Jets. Joel Hofer is in net for the St. Louis Blues. We think this guy has only played 1 game so far for St. Louis. So definitely check out as to who's going to be in net. Only gave up 2 goals in a 5-2 win. That game went over on the road at Washington, but he's a 22-year-old kid that's going to be playing here. I mean, the Jets aren't a team I would be too worried about betting on. I mean, yes, Hellebuck is basically going to give up 2 or 3 goals, most likely, but I think this game's going over just because of the way that St. Louis has been playing and how wide open they're playing. We just are going to bet the teams that we've been betting because I think it's going against. It's only minus 105, so you get a little value on this. But, I mean, St. Louis, let's just go back and run it again, okay? Games involving the St. Louis Blues, what they have done over the last, I think it's 9 games now, going back to the 28th of February, 8, 9, 6, 8, 6, 7, 8, 13, 7. Okay? I mean, this is... it doesn't matter who's in net, whether it be Greasy or Binnington or this Hofer kid. It just doesn't matter. I know it's Hellebuck. I'm betting over 6.5 at minus 105 between St. Louis. You might get 6. This number might go to 6. You might get a better number. I love it at 6. You get 6. I love the push potential, but over 6.5 for Winnipeg in St. Louis, simply just because of what St. Louis has been doing and how consistently we're getting 6 goals. Getting more than that, I mean, frankly, 4-2 against Los Angeles on March the 4th and 4-2 against San Jose on March the 9th. Everything else is over 6. It's 7 or more goals have been scored. I know it's a Sunday. Sometimes guys are asleep and the goals don't happen, but I'm going to bet over 6.5 minus 105. The other bet that I'm going to make official, and this is just our old friends, Vancouver and Anaheim. Vancouver is on the road. I don't understand how this is 6.5. I mean, this is weird to me. It's minus 120, but I'm fine laying the 1.2 units down on this. The Vancouver on the road, the Vancouver Canucks are 25-7-1 to the over. 25-7-1 to the over. What, we're betting under when they're on the road? At home, Anaheim is a 17-14-1 to the over. I'll pay 1.2 units on this to go ahead and bet this. To me, it doesn't matter who's in net. Okay, I don't care who's playing. It's Demko most likely against Dostal for the Ducks. It doesn't matter to me. This is just, we're going to go ahead and fire on this just because goals are going to get scored. And I apologize if you hear my dog barking in the background. I apologize. I don't know what's going on out there, but I'll figure out here in a second. Over 6.5 for Vancouver at Anaheim at minus 120. Over 6.5 for Winnipeg at St. Louis. 4 o'clock, 7 o'clock Eastern time start, 8 o'clock Eastern time start for that one. Again, I like Boston and Buffalo over. I like Vegas and Columbus over, but those are morning starts. So it's 1 o'clock on the West Coast with Vegas here at home, and it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast for Boston and Buffalo. That makes it a little scary, so I don't want to make it official, but I do lean towards the over in both those games. But officially, I'm taking Winnipeg, St. Louis over, and I'm taking Vancouver and Anaheim over 6.5 for 1.2 and 1.1 units. The only college basketball bet I'm going to make is Pittsburgh plus 5. The Pitt Panthers are 24-10-1 ATS on the season. They have covered 4 of the last 5 games. They laid an egg against Duke in the ACC tournament, but they beat Iowa State by 18. They beat Mississippi State by 1. They beat Georgia Tech in the ACC tournament by 8. Lost to Florida by 2, but they covered in the last game of the regular season for them as 7.5-point dogs. They may not win the game, but I think 5 points is too heavy here. I'm not laying any more than 3 points for the rest of the tournament. I don't care who it is, okay? I know I talked about the Zags laying 4.5. I don't know. I may just bet Zags money line, just eat the juice and just say, fine, just try to. I think the Zags are going to win and beat TCU. I don't want to sweat out what happened at the end of the UCLA game or the end of the Texas game. These numbers are just so darn sharp. It's stupid. Be on the right side one game like Northwestern, be on the wrong side another game like Texas. It becomes a coin flip at the end, and it's high stress and not very fun. It's easier just to bet money line, even if it's really expensive, just to bet the money line. So I might be doing that with the Zags later tonight, but I just think when you look at how these teams are going to match up with each other, they're not mirror images of each other, but Xavier's offense is 7th for adjusted efficiency. Pittsburgh is 27th. Xavier's defense is 72nd. Pittsburgh's defense is 108th. Effective field goal percentage for Pittsburgh's 58. Effective field goal percentage for Xavier is 10. Xavier's defense is 165 for effective field goal percentage, which is not great, but Pittsburgh's 83, which is not great either on that. You got 3-point shooting for Xavier is 4th, 72nd for Pittsburgh, 38th best for 2-point percentage for Xavier, 100th 2-point percentage for Pitt. Pitt hits their free throws better. They're 35th. Xavier's free throw percentage is 197th. So that could factor in here a little bit. But it's also just how Xavier has been playing down the stretch. They really struggled against Kennesaw State. They won by 5. They lost to Marquette in the Big East final by 14. They whipped Creighton, but that was the only game they covered over their last 5 games. They beat DePaul as 12-point favorites by 5 on neutral court, and they beat Butler at home by 12 as laying 13.5-point favorites. I think Xavier probably wins the game, but I think Pitt's going to be right there. And again, it comes down to free throws, and I'm taking the dog. Give me Pitt plus 5. You can fade away. Xavier probably wins this game by 100, given where I'm betting with college basketball these days, but I want to bet one game. Pittsburgh plus 5 against Xavier. That game in Greensboro. Game tips off early, which I think helps out us as well here. It's a mid-afternoon game for the dog to come up and potentially get to the Sweet 16. I'm taking Pittsburgh, even though I've been fading the ACC all week and saying the ACC sucks. Here I am betting on an ACC team up against a Big East team, which is a little bit odd, but here we go. Pittsburgh plus 5. I'm personally on Creighton plus 1, like I mentioned. If we hit all these, we'll come back and potentially add the Zags at the end. All right, we're going over 6.5, minus 120 Vancouver, over 6.5 St. Louis, minus 105, and Pittsburgh plus 5 for minus 110 here officially. Bunch of leans. Other plays I'll give you guys later on. I mean, Kentucky probably wins. I think that's probably a decent lay of 3 points. If they step up and play the way they're capable of playing today, they could wind up going in the Sweet 16, but they can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody, which is really a remarkable situation given the fact that we have Princeton in the Sweet 16. So you got to be a little wary of that. I think Marquette probably wins today against Michigan State. I like UConn a lot, but number is 4. It scares me with the way St. Mary's plays, how defensively they are, how great defensively they are. Got a couple of bigs take care of UConn's bigs. That's scary. Florida Atlantic is laying 15 to Fairleigh Dickinson. I like the dog there, but Miami and Indiana, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen in that basketball game. That's a straight coin flip. By the way, Pittsburgh and Xavier is the first game of the day, just FYI. So it's out of the gate here with Pittsburgh plus 5 up against Xavier. All right. My name is Matt Perrault. Follow me on Twitter at SportsTalkMatt each and every morning. It is the Daily Juice Podcast being brought to you by BetMGM.